Good evening and welcome to the 46th edition of LIVRESQ Empower Your Teaching webinar. My name is Aluka. I'm usually your host and have been for all the 46th editions of our webinar. We have an exciting topic tonight because we've developed a few new templates that are more geared towards retail, but they can be used in all areas of education as well. We'll also talk about how to use the templates that were already in the platform. We can also answer questions if you have any questions, either if you're joining us on Facebook or if you're here on Zoom with us and have any questions, please do not hesitate to write in the chat. If you're on Zoom, you can turn on your microphone as well and join me. And if you're watching a recording of this, please leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible and we can answer your question. And of course, if you're here, I'll answer your question in real time. So templates. One of the easiest ways to begin and to work with LIVRESQ is by starting from a template. The absolute easiest way is actually to use AI. We've talked about that in previous webinars. We can create an entire project using AI in LIVRESQ. It's very easy to do. There's one template that the AI generator works on currently. But of course, if you want to do something else, one way to begin is also starting from a template. And what I'm going to explore today is how to do that and also showing you what new templates we've prepared. I'm going to share my screen, actually change my screen share. I'm already sharing my screen to the app. This is the home page of the app once we open it, of the platform, the author, not the library. Our platform contains two main tools, the library and the author. And this is the main page of the author, where everything happens. Just 1 second so that I can arrange my windows so that I can see your comments. Right. So this is the home page. This is what it looks like. The first thing that we can do is click on Create New. Now, one update that is worth mentioning, and I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago as well, is the fact that it might be different for you. For instance, if you click on Create New, you might not have 3 options here like I do, and that's because of a default setting that we've sent to all accounts that automatically hides the sections and the resources in your LIVRESQ cloud, so it'll only show your projects. The way to disable this option in case you need to see your sections and resources, in case you maybe need to add them to other projects, is to go under your account here, under settings, and you can check or uncheck this option. I'll check it now just so that you can see what your account probably looks like unless you've changed this setting intentionally. So right now, my only 2 options when I click on Create New is Project or Import. If I click on Create New Project, I have a few options. The first one is to create a new project from scratch. This doesn't have any content. This is me starting from a blank, clean slate. Then I can also have the option to create a project using artificial intelligence, and this is what I was telling you about. We can do that, and we've showcased it in previous videos as well. And then we have some templates, but not all templates that are displayed here. Now, if you know the LIVRESQ templates, if you've seen them before, you can choose straight from here, but just so you know, they're not all displayed here. In order to browse all the templates, there's this link down here. You might have to scroll. My screen is zoomed in now so that I can make sure you can see the app properly. You might be able to see this without scrolling, or you might need to scroll down to see the Browse All Templates button. If you click on Browse All Templates, this is essentially a link to this page in the organizer. The LIVRESQ organizer is where everything is stored, and most of the options for storing and creating new projects can be found. So you have the panel, you have all of your resources, if you have a premium account, you have resources that you've shared recently, edited resources, mainly projects, especially in this formula, and templates, as well as a recycle bin, an erased place where you can see, this is a page where you can see all of the projects that you've previously erased. But the link, Browse All Templates, takes us to this section over here that's called Templates. And here we can see a list and we can see thumbnails for all of the templates that we offer currently. A lot of them are in Romanian. Usually, if they're in Romanian, they have the word RO, they have the acronym actually, RO somewhere in the title. But there are a lot that also, I mean, and you can also adapt those. You can use templates that are in Romanian and adapt them if you need to. But we also have a few that are in English. And the new ones that I wanted to talk to you about today are the 5 ones here that are begin with the word retail. This is a more modern approach, a more modern design, and will help you create more modern looking projects. The way this works, first we view a template, we see whether we like it or not, and then if we like it, if we decide on a template, we get to use it. And using it, the button to use them, and I'll show it to you in a minute, what it does is create a copy of this template in your resources. So down here is resources where you can find all of the materials that are stored, all of the projects that you've worked on. This is kind of like your cloud. This is the LIVRESQ memory where everything you work on is automatically saved. Because we work with autosave, we don't have a dedicated save button. Whatever you do in LIVRESQ is automatically saved. So first of all, let's view a template. If I wanted to see the first one, I can either select it with a single click and then click on the eye icon up here to view it, to enter view mode, or more easily, I can double click it. Once I double click it, there's this pop-up that shows me a interactive version of the template. So I see it as the finished project, as a finished product, as a finished project. I don't see the editing side of it. I just see the finished product and I can interact with it. I can click on the start button. I can go to the e-learning navigation guide, see whatever else information I can change around here, objectives that I can add. Of course, this is filler text. I can change this with the text that I need. We have a video, barriers that don't allow me to move forward unless I watch the video. This is set to mute, so that's why we can't hear the video. Once the video finishes playing, I can move on. So all of this is inside my template. If I decide to use it, I can click on use, I'll show you in a minute, and then I can, and then there's the copy that I was talking about that will be created automatically in resources. So this was the first one. Double click, I can see it. Second one, their structure is quite similar. Second one, I can click it and again look through it. If this is the design that I want to go with, I can choose this. If not, I can exit it again, double click again, look for everything that is available here. And of course, if you want to look through some of the old ones, if you want to look for something in particular, that can be done as well. This is a completely different style, but the structure is mainly the same. You have the objectives, you have the barriers, you have a video. What you can do and what this is designed for you to do is to change all of this filler information, to actually add a video that fits into the topic you want to talk about, to add images that fit, to add, of course, text that fits. These templates don't have avatars. They don't have virtual assistants. We keep calling them avatars, but they're actually messages or virtual assistants, that little character that pops up. You only have resources and barriers. And again, once you select one, and let's just go with this one, for instance, it's selected, and I can tell it's selected because this is a darker blue, and I've clicked on it once, because if I click twice, then I go into view mode. If I click once, it's just selected. And once I select it, I can click on use up here. So there's this button with a page with a plus, and now it's telling me it's duplicating, so it's creating a copy of this template. It will open automatically, but then I'll show you that you can see it in your resources if we close it accidentally, because again, everything is saved automatically. So this is the editing version. of the template we've just seen. If I close it, because it looks like a tab, if I go under resources, I can see it here. I'll double click it again to edit, and all of the changes that I make on it will be automatically saved to that version. The first thing I recommend you do so that it's easier to follow is to rename it, to name it the title of your project, of course. And in order to rename the entire project, I haven't entered my section, I haven't gone into other menus here, stayed in the main screen that the project opened in, which is the sections. I clicked on rename. We can just call it test, for instance. I typed, but my keyword was a little slow. Click rename. You need to click rename. Enter does not work here, so you need to type out rename and then click the actual, to type out your title and then click rename. And now my project is called test. If I go back into organizer, into resources, this is test. It's also open here because this works as a tab that allows me to go back to the organizer all the time, but I can have multiple projects open here. So this is also quite new. We've talked about it before, but just as a reminder, you have the organizer that allows you to see everything, allows you to reach the resources, and then you have the test page, the actual project that is opened. I read what was on the screen. So you have the actual project, and you can open multiple projects just like you would tabs in a browser. Right. So right now we have one section that's called demo. In order to enter that section and to start editing it, we'll double click. And now we see the project in editing mode, which means that barriers obviously don't work because I need to see everything right off the bat. And we can scroll down and start editing whatever we need to edit. We can delete content, we can change text, we can change images, we can do whatever we need to do inside that project. So for instance, if I wanted to edit, obviously, first of all, my title. Maybe I don't need this little text here. I just need my title in a big font. I can just write test because that's what we called it. I can just write my title here. What I did to have this menu pop up was to double click on it. I'll undo my changes using this button here, just so that I can do it slower. So if I want to change something, the rule of thumb is we double click it. If I want to change this text here, I'll double click on it. I have the text editing menu that pops up. We have previous webinars in which we go through all the resources and we go through how to edit these resources and how they work. So I have this text editing menu that allows me to do different things to the text and to change different settings, including adding formulas. But I can just type out the title of my course. Just test. I don't need this little text here. This was for module or whatever you wanted to add, maybe a category of courses. And then I change the title, and I can keep doing that in order to change the content. This is the easiest part for text. If I want to change something that is not text, for instance, I want to change maybe a video, this video here, I want to add something that has to do with my topic. I double click the video and it looks a little bit different because it doesn't stay inside the section, but it takes me into the video editing screen. I know where I am. I know I'm in my project. There's a breadcrumb here. I'm in my project that's called test. I'm editing the section that's called demo, and I'm editing a video. And this is the screen that allows me to edit the video, which means that I can click on change video and I have 4 options according to the type of account that I have. I can, all these, the first 3 options are available for all accounts, so free accounts as well. AI generated is only available for premium accounts. So I can add a video from YouTube or another video sharing platform. I can browse for a video, which means that I can upload a video from my computer. I can add a stock video, or I can generate a video using AI if I have a premium account. So this is how it generally works. And if once I finished editing this video, maybe I want to change the poster, the thumbnail. This is the image that appears at first. I can delete it. Or I can change it to whatever I want. I have this button that allows me to either upload a file or browse stock photos. Once I've made this change as well, I can click on the title of my section and I can go back and I can keep editing. Everything else that I want to edit, apart from the text itself, will take me to a separate editing screen, the way you've seen for video. So if I wanted to add, these are accordions. This is an interactive resource that allows me to click on the title to see more information. If I want to edit this, I will double click on it and I can see the editing screen for the accordion where I can change this little picture here, I can change the text here, I can add more text if I need to. And I can do that for each. These are 3 separate accordions here as well. I have a video here, more accordions. I have a quiz here. If I wanted to edit this quiz, again, I'll double click it and I'm in quiz editing mode. And we have separate webinars dedicated just to quizzes. I go back to my section, I can edit that image, and I can edit everything up to the end of my course. This is how all templates work. I double click to edit. So we know how to create a project starting from a template. We know how to change things that are already in the template. But it so happens that maybe I don't need everything that's already here because I have boxes for subchapters. I have different barriers that I can edit and change the text of. I have screen down here. I have previous and next, but if I have only one section, I don't need this. So I have different elements that I may not need. Now, the question is, how do I delete them? Because we've seen how we edit what's already here, but how do we delete? The easiest way to delete an item is by selecting it with a single click and then hitting the delete up here. Once you select any item in a LIVRESQ section, you'll have this little menu pop up. In order to delete efficiently, you need to understand a little bit of the structure, the fact that we have rows that are these gray rectangles that appear one under the other. Inside every row, there is a cell, one or more cells, and inside the cells is where we have the actual resources. So for instance, if I don't need a gallery, especially for templates, we don't recommend that you just delete the gallery because this will still have this bit here. Maybe I want to replace it with something else, which could work, although we have a gallery icon here, but maybe I want to replace it with a quiz, then fine, you can drag and drop a quiz and place it here. But notice that it looks a little bit out of place because I've placed a template that doesn't fit in with the template. I've placed a resource that doesn't have the same settings as the rest of the template. So the way I do it, if I don't need something, I'll just undo. I'll delete the entire row. I've completely deleted it. I don't need this barrier either. I have this delete button and I can delete it. And whatever I need, I can take back from this template and only delete at the very end. For instance, if I wanted an accordion that looks like this, I can copy it and I can paste it wherever I need it. I've just clicked on Control C, by the way. You didn't see what I did on my keyboard. So I selected it using a single click and Control or Command C. Actually, it's Control C on a Mac as well. So it's Control C to copy on Windows, and on a Mac for now, it's still the Control key, not the Command key, plus C. Or I can just select it and I can go up here and say copy. Then let's say I want to add this row, the entire row, maybe somewhere right after the video, right after the barrier for the video. Once I select an item, if I paste, whatever I paste will be placed immediately under that item. So if I want my row to go under this barrier, I select the barrier and I paste either using Control V or the button up here, paste. And notice that I had the barrier selected, so it will place this row immediately under the barrier. That's our recommended way of working with templates because this keeps the same style of the template. We just copy and paste and we add what we need from lower in the page. And once we finished adding everything, and maybe there are truly some items that we don't need, chapters that we don't need, types of boxes that we don't need, types of resources that we don't need, we can select them all. I've clicked on the first one. We can use Shift to select multiple items. For multiple items, we'll have the editing menu that will pop up here in black. Notice the difference. If I select this barrier, the editing menu appears up here. This allows me to delete, duplicate, move it around, select its parent, or view it, preview it. If I select multiple with Shift, that menu is located up here, and this menu will act on all of the resources that I've selected, all of the elements. They're not all resources, all of the rows, cells, and elements that I've selected. So if I click on delete, I deleted everything that I had just selected. And now my project is smaller. I deleted everything I didn't need. So the most efficient way in order to keep the style, in order to make it easier to design everything according to a template, is to keep copying what I need. Then I double click, change, and I use it like that. Of course, you can still add new resources, but again, they might look different in style or they might fit a little differently. Like if I add a gallery here, it will be right under the video. It's stuck to the video, so it's much easier to add the row with the gallery. It has the title, it's configured in a certain way, it looks better, and it's easier to use if we just copy paste the row. And we recommend you'll notice that in most of the templates that you can find in LIVRESQ, we work in rows where we have one interactive resource, one interactive applet, if you will, per row, which means that here I have an image and I have an accordion. This is an instructional design principle that allows me to guide the learner properly. I don't give them too many things to do on the screen so that they can focus on the information that I give them at one time. And that's why we try to keep it one row, one interactive resource. If you notice in this template, and the others are as well, of course this is the same. It's one accordion, multiple technically, but it's an accordion, accordions again. We have one row for the video. The learner sees one video on their screen, not multiple interactive resources, and they cannot move forward because they have the barrier until they finished watching the video. Then we have accordion and image. The image is not interactive, but the accordion is. Accordions again, a quiz and an image, so we tend not to mix them up. And that's why it's also easier when you start working with templates that you take a row with the type of content that you need, you place it where you want, you just copy and paste it where you want it, and at the very end, you go lower in the template and you see whatever else you didn't need, you can delete. And of course, it's much longer than this version because we've just deleted a whole chunk of content that was here. So it's important to know how to sort of play around with rows. Again, rows is the easiest. Instead of copying just one type of box, just copy the entire row. It's efficient to play around with them, to copy and paste them in another place, just so that you can add content according to your needs. Right. So if there are any questions related to what I showed tonight, please write them in chat, both on Facebook and on Zoom. I can go through another template just to show you, meanwhile, while you type your questions. If there are any questions, I can go through another template just to show you what it would look like, or in case you've joined a little bit later. So we can find all of the templates here. This is the page where everything that we have to offer in terms of templates is. We can get to this page from the panel as well if we click on Create New Project and we click on Browse All the Templates. This is where it's taking us. We can select a template, view it using double click. If we're satisfied with the way it looks, if we want to use it, I don't think we've even looked at this one, so I'll just open this one. If we're satisfied with the way it looks, We can select it, click on use. It takes a little bit to copy. And once it's duplicating, so this is duplicating the actual template, it's creating a copy of it inside my resources, which is my space where everything is saved inside LIVRESQ. So this is now called Retail Soft Glass Realism. If I go into my organizer under resources, I'll notice that it's saved automatically here. It's also open here. Can double click the section. And again, I have access to the content and I can keep editing according to what I need it to do. And this is mainly how it works. So we recommend duplicating rows and then you double click and you edit the information that is there. Right. So I take it there are no questions. Thank you very much for joining me. It was a pleasure to show you these templates. We hope they are useful for you in your work. You can browse others as well. There are some that are dedicated to Romanian, but I mean, for sure you can use them and you can adapt them and change the language if you need them to be in another language. We have many more, as you probably saw when I showcased them. You can browse them, you can see what fits. Some of them contain virtual assistants as well. Some of them are more simple, like these ones. Some of them might have a design that fits better to your needs and to your tastes, because it's also about tastes, not just needs. And we hope this resource is helpful. We hope you enjoy the new templates and the new sort of look with your organizer because it's still quite fresh. It's only been a few months. And I will see you here next time. We'll be taking a break in 2 weeks. So normally this meeting takes place twice a month. So once every 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now, we'll be taking a break, so I will see you back here next month, in November already, for our next meeting. And we have some exciting news coming up, so hopefully you'll register and I will see you again. Thank you so much for participating. If you're watching this as a recording again and have any questions, leave your comments down below in YouTube mainly, but also on Facebook. The recordings don't stay on Facebook very long, but they're on YouTube for a very long time. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.